In this video, we're going to go through the costs of crafting in Ghosts of Yotei. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Ghost of Yotei. So I make a lot of videos about money glitches, resource glitches, and how to buy stuff. And I get a lot of comments of well, you can just play the game normally, and you'll never have money problems, or you can do the bounties, or you can do the Zen Hajiki game, the coin game. Number one, the coin game is bugged at this point at patch 1.08. A lot of people have experienced that. Sucker Punch knows that. I've had it. I'm gonna come out with a bug video, but I've been too busy with other things. But yeah, so even if it's not bugged, that's you're not gonna get much money out of that. You actually need a lot of money to upgrade everything, but that's not the only thing. And so I've seen not very many crafting videos just talking about what it takes to do to craft all this stuff, right? So there's 13 armor sets if you have the digital deluxe edition, and 12 if you don't. Most of those armor sets are upgradable. There's 15 different weapons. You might not even think of them as weapons, but they're almost, I think all of them are upgradable. Either their pouches are, or they are upgradable. So for instance, we're looking at the blind bomb right now. I need Oni Raider Mask Pieces to upgrade this, right? And so the question is how many Oni Raider Mask Pieces do I need? How much coin do I need, right? So you can see I've got a lot of coin because of the money glitches that I pointed out on this channel. But I don't, I'm a little short on the Oni Raider Mask Pieces because I don't know a good way to get Oni Raider Mask Pieces except for kill Oni Raiders in the Ishikari Plain. And so that, and the other thing is you could conquer bases and stuff to do that, but there's only a limited number of bases, and so once you've conquered them, then it's harder to respawn Oni Raiders. So the question is, should you be farming the bases? That is, you're restarting the next checkpoint, or should you be just playing the game normally if you want to upgrade everything in the game? And right now, I would lean towards that you need a lot of Oni Raider Mask Pieces. You need 250 for the game, and you're probably not going to get that by just conquering the bases and playing the game normally, unless and you might have to farm random spawns, inconsistent spawns of Oni Raiders after you've kind of cleaned out the map. So you want to avoid that. So that's why we're doing this, is to give you an idea of the costs. So to fully upgrade your weapons, you're going to need 62,000. And this is including the weapon pouches and the quivers and things like that. But 62,000 in coin, almost 34,000 to upgrade all your armor pieces. There's 13 armor sets. Most of them are upgradable. A few of them are not upgradable. There's the digital deluxe snake armor set is not upgradable. The Ainu, kind of the traveler's armor from the Ainu, is not upgradable. And then the Onryo armor, which is your base armor set, you don't upgrade that with the money, but you upgrade that with Yotei 6 kills. So I just want to go through the things that are easier to upgrade, easier resources to get, and harder resources to get, so you can kind of plan out what you're going to do in the game. So, and give you an idea of a strategy that you need if you plan to have kind of the maximal Atsu, or if you just, you want to do the minimum, to see what it's going to take for whatever you want. So, but we're going to think more of the maximal upgrade everything.
I can use many techniques.
So, I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and there were hundreds and hundreds of armor pieces. I was able to upgrade all of them But I knew all the glitches and I knew all the money things, and I knew how to get it quickly because that was what I did. But even in this game, upgrading everything's not a piece of cake. So the vendors will sell you some of the things that you're going to need for the weapon upgrades. So coin, let's say you're going to use some of the money glitches we highlight on this channel. Check out the description if you don't know them. In your short on coin. But the other things is the young bamboo, metals, textiles, black powder. So this vendor right here is the white dye merchant. The dye merchants sell similar things for coin as Rand the Bower does. So you probably know Rand the Bower. She's part of your wolf pack. I can even show you
Tread
the wolf pack
careful.
menu. There we go. So there's Rand the Bower. She usually hangs out at the Yotei Shadow Inn in the Yotei Grasslands area. So she'll sell you black powder and textiles. Textiles and black powder are upgrade items. So if we go back to our summation of all the things. So you don't have to worry too much about looting textiles and black powder, which are right there. You need 270 textiles, 180 black powder to upgrade all your weapons and armor sets. So textiles are used for weapons. Black powder is used to upgrade. Black powder is used to upgrade some weapons, and textiles are used to upgrade a lot of armor sets. And then there's other merchants. So if we go back to the map, we'll minimize this. That are going to be focused on other things. So the Ainu merchants, right? They seem to be
Ainu
all the same.
Moshiri provides us plenty to barter. Take a look.
They will sell you sake. They sell sake, I think, for coin. They sell. So silk fibers is the same thing as textiles. So the really annoying thing about this game is they treat like everything that has that symbol for textiles the same. They treat everything that has the symbol for metal the same, but then they give it different names. He'll sell you wineberry for metal, or he'll buy wineberry for metal. He'll buy textiles for bamboo, and he'll buy fish for metals, right? So we got a metals glitch. It's easier to convert metals into coin than it is coins to metal, but so you need to have about 850 metals, and you need about 1060 bamboo. So the obvious thing is that you could sell bamboo for fish for bamboo, and if you needed it, and that would allow you to do the upgrades if you're using the fish glitch. You could sell your mushrooms for metal. You could sell your fish. You can sell your fish for bamboo and your bamboo for metal. And then if you need wineberry doesn't come up. Those plants don't come up in terms of the crafting, so we don't have to worry about that. And black powder for metal, but we can buy black powder with coin. Okay, so you can use the fish glitch, you can use the mushroom glitch to get almost all these white items, or just use the coin glitch to buy all these white items. And so that should not be hard in terms of the crafting to get that done if you're not constrained by a coin. Okay? What could be a problem, but I have not found to be a problem,
Hope to see you again.
is the rare metals and the rare woods, right? So, so if we look at my inventory here, and we're, I'm not very far in the game here. In terms of the Yotei 6, I've only killed one. I actually typically have too much bamboo, have to sell it down. I get a lot from looting it. I get a lot from other glitches. I get a lot of metal from the glitches. I get a lot from looting it. I end up having to sell it down for cash to avoid it getting over $9.99. So really, I think for bamboo and metal, all those white items, I don't think you're gonna have any problems. Then the precious woods and the precious metals, right? You see, I've only, maybe I have a third of the items that you could upgrade, and they're not fully upgraded. But rare metals, you only need 200. Rare wood, you only need 115, right? And I have 139 rare metals and 125 rare woods. So at my current rate of accumulation, it doesn't look like it's that I'm ever going to be constrained by having to get that stuff, right? So usually you get the rare metals as a drop from kind of the higher level enemies in the camps. And then the precious woods, you're going to get that exploring around. You're going to get more of both those things if you have 2 charms equipped. So you want to have Okay, let me go to my other loadout. I was just doing this because it looked cool. But I usually am using this loadout. So the Charm of Kaniago, which is going to, if we look at it, is going to increase the amount of common and rare metals, black powder collected when scavenging, right? So this is even when you're killing enemies, you're going to get more. And you'll see the charms working when a second bit pops. So I think there's some confusion that when you loot something, you should see that second icon come up, and that's when the charm's working. If the charm's not working, the second bit of that item, which is, let's say, rare metal, would come up if it's working. And then the other charm that you're going to want to have equipped is the Charm of Bountiful Harvest, right? And so the Charm of Kaniago you get from the Falls Rest Shrine in the Yotei Grasslands, and Charm of Bountiful Harvest you get at the Yotei Grasslands at just below the hot springs by the stables, and it should be on a tree stump. And with those equipped, the Charm of Bountiful Harvest increases the amount of wood, flowers, and plants gained when collecting them. So this works for all plants except for mushrooms. So with those 2 things equipped, I think just exploring the world and just generally looting as you go along, I don't think you're going to have problems with the green items in terms of your upgrades. Where people get into problems is the yellow items, right? The Oni Raider Mask Pieces, the Shinobi Steel, and the gun parts. Okay, so at the time I'm recording this, there are a lot of glitches to get the Shinobi Steel. I included what I thought was the fastest one. You don't need that much Shinobi Steel. You only need like 200. You can glitch 200 from the glitch in the video in the description in like 3 minutes once you get there. So I recommend you get more. I recommend you get like 500. Spend 6 minutes there instead of 3. restarting the next checkpoint and looting the 10 to 12 Shinobi Steel. But, you know, you only need 200 for all your armor and weapon upgrades. The one that is kind of the constraint for most of the enhanced upgrades for the melee weapons, for example, is the Oni Raider Mask Pieces. It's also used for some of the armor sets. The higher level, I think like the level 3 upgrades for the armor sets, is those Oni Raider Mask Pieces. But I have found kind of a workaround so that you can get more. So the obvious thing to do would be to, if there's not a glitch for the Oni Raider Mask Pieces in the gun parts, would be to go to the camps on the map. So we'll go to the map and we'll kind of minimize this. We'll send this to the back. Okay, maybe we'll just move it out of the way for the moment. And so if we look at the map, right? Okay, so there's the Yotei grasslands. There's the Ishikari Plain. So the Ishikari Plain is where you get the Oni Raider Mask Pieces. You follow the Oni mission. So I think there's a gate here. The road to the Ishikari Plain. So you need to initiate this mission. Now, I found that the first time I initiated this mission, there is a boss fight, and I was not able to beat the boss because I only had like 3 resolves and
We keep
had
order
very
around
few
here.
skills, and so I was not able to do it. But there's for the main tails, there's something that you can do, and it shows up on the settings screen right under restart from the last checkpoint. On a main tail, you can abandon the tail. Okay? So if you abandon the tail for all 3 main tails, so if we kind of go back to the map, if you abandon the Oni tail, or the Kitsune tail, or the Saito brothers tail, then just because you started it and abandoned it, and then you go to a base, so a base is going to be a red area, which may be in the Yotei grasslands, it might be one in the Tokachi range, it might be one in the Ishikari Plain. Then, when you conquer the base, there will be chests that are left out. And those chests will have mask pieces, Shinobi Steel, and gun parts if you have entered all 3 regions. If you have entered just say you've just started the Oni tail, but you abandoned it before getting to the Ishikari Plain. You conquer a base in the Yotei grasslands, which is the first region. You will get masks as part of that conquest. Is it a lot of masks? Not really. No, it's like 7. So it's not a huge amount, but it will boost your total. So by starting but not completing all 3 of these main missions, you can start getting the Oni, the Kitsune, and the Saito brothers by trying to enter those regions. Even if you don't enter them, by conquering future bases, you're going to increase your amount of parts. So when I go to the Broken Horn Garrison, and if I conquer it, I will get these chests that will be full of not just Oni Raider Mask Pieces, but they'll also be full of Shinobi Steel, because I have started a Kitsune Tale, but I've not completed it, and even if I just abandoned it, that would be enough. And so if you've entered the Oshima Coast, or tried to enter the Oshima Coast with the Saito brothers and abandoned it, that will also be in those chests when you conquer them. So that's the kind of quirk I've seen to get more of the Oni Raider Mask Pieces, the Shinobi Steel, and the gun parts. The other thing that you can do, if there's not a glitch, so Shinobi Steel is the one I only know that you can glitch that relatively quickly. The gun parts and the Oni Raider Mask Pieces, what you're going to do is you're just going to find bases in those areas, right? In addition to, killing random NPC, Saito allied NPCs, is you go to the base and you just kill dudes in the base and loot them and leave several members of the base, like at least 2, unharmed, and let them don't conquer the base, because if you conquer the base is conquered and they won't respawn. But if you restarted the next checkpoint, right, before the base is conquered, then they'll all respawn and you can loot them again, right? So there's a trade-off between conquering the base and getting the base rewards, right, which are these chests that will have more Oni Raider Mask Pieces and possibly other things such as the Shinobi Steel or the gun pieces, and keeping the base alive so you can just easily kill the NPCs that have random drops of these things. So that's what I would advocate until you have because there's so few bases, there's like 4 or 5 bases per region, and I found, like, in the Ishikari Plain, for example, I only get like 20 mask pieces for conquering a base, and that's going to come like really short on the Oni Raider Mask Pieces, right? I need 250, right, for the game, and if I kind of wipe out all the map, and I only get like 100 for conquering all the bases, I'm going to come well short of Oni Raider Mask Pieces, right? Now, will I get more Oni Raider Mask Pieces when I conquer other bases in other regions? I think so, yes, because that's the way it works. But you probably do want to farm those bases somewhat, unless there's a glitch and you're able to get a huge inventory of those special items, which are key to higher level upgrades. So the first upgrade level, you're going to want to have these Oni Raider Mask Pieces, and I think there's the enhanced, and then the level higher than that is going to be the Shinobi Steel. So if we go to my gear, so I have some bombs that I haven't fully upgraded, right? So I need to upgrade them with Oni Raider Mask Pieces. For these, I need gun parts because I have plenty of. I was able to get them up to the top, second to top, so to get them to perfected. So there's altered, reinforced, enhanced, and then perfected, right? So to get these to perfected level, I need gun parts. And so for that, I'm going to have to go start the Saito Brothers quest, and either get that through bases I conquer in other regions, or by drops or bases conquered in the Oshima coast. So Oshima coast is for gun parts. Oni Raider Mask Pieces is for Ishikari plane foes, and Shinobi Steel is for Teshio Ridge folks up here. Okay, and then the other one, so there's like a armor set, if we can, let me bring this up. Okay, so this is the armor set is called the robes for Sitaranyu, and this is actually for the Wilds region, which is between the Teshio Ridge and the range. So that is the Naru Wilds. Will give you kind of that traveler's armor set that allows you to find collectibles more easily. And then the Yotei 6 kills, that's just the Onryo armor set, which you get at the start of the game, and so it just upgrades automatically every time you kind of kill new members of the Yotei 6. So you kill the snake in the prologue, and then when you kill either the Oni or the Kitsune or the Saito brothers, then you go up, and so then you get to 5. 5 is sufficient to get you to full armor for the Onryo armor. So most of them are going to be mostly based on coin, textiles, and then these special items in yellow, right? And maybe some of the green items. For armor, and for weapons, they're going to be mostly based on, if they're ranged weapons or throwable weapons, then you're going to have to spend coin. You're not going to have to spend coin for the things that can be forged by Atsu at her father's forge, right? So that's just kind of one of the mechanics of the game, right? That for the melee weapons, they're going to actually be forged at home, right? At her father's forge. Right here. When you have the parts. So you don't have any coins, you just have to have the parts for them. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Ghost of Yotei. Good luck on your upgrading. It's going to take a lot of coin. It's going to take a lot of resources. For the yellow items, it might take some planning. It might take some glitching. There's a lot of glitches that can make this easier and much quicker to fully upgrade and maximize the crafting. But there's not one for all of them. So the white items you probably can buy if you have a lot of other items, such as coin. The green items you'll probably get as long as you're wearing the right charms, the Charm of Kaniago and the Charm of Abundant Harvest. And then, you know, the orange items, due to exploration, you're going to need to get about half of the Ainu items through exploration, and the Onryo armor is just from progressing the main story, so that's, you know, you're going to get that at some point. But those yellow items, except for the Shinobi Steel, you might find those upgrades a little harder to do, and you might have to farm some bases to do that. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel. We give you the secrets to crush Ghost of Yotei. Let me know about your crafting experience in the comments, and any tips you have for finding these difficult to find materials. And if you plan to be crafting almost everything or just a few things. Bye-bye.